breath it holds. Stars like whispers, their stories old.
Orbital analysis, and they realized that eventually those fragments were going to impact Jupiter. So in anticipation, they pointed telescopes right at Jupiter. And what they saw were plumes of heat in its atmosphere bigger than the Earth itself as Jupiter spun in space. So that was huge. That was monumental. That was the first time humans had ever seen anything like that before. It was so big that it caught the attention of Congress. I don't know how, right? Well, 4 years later, they mandated that there must be a program looking for these potential impacts. And these two telescopes behind me, along with two others on Kitt Peak called Space Watch, were the very first telescopes tasked to do that. Initially, they were looking for objects the size of a kilometer or greater that could slam into the Earth and end life as we know it. And they were asked to do that down to 90% certainty. Well, they did it, and they did it down to 96% certainty. There's always going to be a little bit of uncertainty, though, because sometimes these objects appear in the sky right next to the sun. The sun is so bright that its glare prevents us from seeing dim objects right next to it, okay? So they did it down to 96%. There's always going to be a little bit of uncertainty, but I'm happy with 96%, okay? I'll take that any day. So afterwards, they transitioned into looking for objects called near-Earth objects. These are basically asteroids about the size of 140 meters or smaller that orbit around the sun within 1.3 astronomical units. 1 AU is the average distance of the Earth from the sun, or about 93 million miles. Okay? So these objects come from the asteroid belt in between Mars and Jupiter. There are trillions of asteroids in the asteroid belt. So there is an unending supply of near-Earth objects. Okay? To date, they have discovered more than 40,000 of these near-Earth objects. Believe it or not, 47% of them were discovered by those two telescopes right behind me. So they really do have a direct impact on our lives, right? At least someone got that.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys see that Nissan parked to the right of the 60-inch dome? Yep. That belongs to Tracy. She's the telescope operator. Later tonight, I'm going to take you guys outside to give you a constellation tour. While we're outside, you guys happen to see Tracy running down the mountain tonight? Watch out, okay? I'm just buckle up, you guys. You're in for a lot of bad jokes, okay? I'm warning you. All right. So the way they find asteroids is actually pretty simple. It's called the blinking technique. I'm going to show you how it works using our two eyes and our thumbs, okay? So let's go ahead and look at the Princess Leia tree. A tree with two buns on top. Do me a favor and hold your thumb in front of your right eye and try to cover the tree. When you do that, blink your two eyes in alternation. You see that your thumb appears to move in respect to the background tree. Okay, let's try it again with our left eye. So park your thumb in front of your left eye and blink your two eyes again. And you see your thumb has moved even more in respect to the background tree. Well, believe it or not, that's basically how they find asteroids. Okay, so the way it works is the 60-inch telescope does survey work. So every 20 minutes, it takes 4 30-second exposures to the sky. And what it's looking for are bright objects that appear to move in respect to the background fixed stars. Okay? Every night, they produce more than a terabyte's worth of data. The lone operator inside cannot go through that data every single night. Okay? They're begging the public for help. They've set up a website called the Daily Minor Planet that you can use for free to discover asteroids and even comets. What they do is they send you GIFs, or GIFs, GIFs, animated images, and it's your job to distinguish a false positive from a real asteroid. So that false positive could be something like a satellite, cosmic ray, noise in the instrument, hot pixels, or internal reflections. Okay? And some other stuff too. So, as good as AI is, it's not as good as we are as at identifying false positives. Okay, if you discover an asteroid, just gets a boring catalog designation, jumble of letters and numbers. But if you discover a comet, they'll name it after you. Okay? Did you guys hear of Comet Lemmon that was visible about a month ago?
Yep.
Okay, where do you think that was discovered?
Here.
Right here, using the 60-inch telescope right behind it. Okay?
Yep.
All right, so before we walk inside and look at the telescope we're going to use tonight, I need to go over two safety items. First, we're at a high altitude. We've just summited Mount Lemmon. Summit, remember, was that white dot right behind you. Okay? Because we're at the summit, you're subject to something called hypoxia. It's just oxygen deprivation, okay, or altitude sickness. If you guys ever feel sick or woozy or nauseous,